Hello, this is Gypsy Spirit, and we are now on tarot reading lesson number 6. And we're going to finish up the major arcana cards today, and then in this lesson, and then we'll move on in the next lesson on learning the meanings of each number to each suit. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first card that we're working on in this lesson is the star. It's the star card. This is what mine looks like, and so I'll explain this to you. It's when you have like gone through hell and back. Yeah, it's like you've been dredged through the bottom of the ocean, and now you're pulling yourself up. You've had the enlightenment. You've removed some of the things that you needed to remove, like the energy that you no longer needed, as we talked about in the Tower card. That energy somehow got kicked out of you through a meltdown in some way or something. And so now you're on more solid ground. You have a different perspective. You've evolved. If you think about, I guess the best way to put it is like a caterpillar that goes into a cocoon, and when it's ready, it turns into a butterfly. So the star is where someone has finally reached that butterfly stage. They've metamorphosized to a place where they need to be. It's more on solid ground now, and they have a lot more freedom emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Think of the butterfly to be able to fly wherever they want to go. And so the star card represents that they're in tune with their spirit guides, their angels, and it's their angels that are helping them find their new way. That they sometimes will reflect back, but on the way things were for them in the past, but now they're on new solid ground, and they're ready to move forward into this new chapter, this new life that they have. They've come a very long way, and they've learned a lot, and now it's time to stay true to their hearts and follow their spirit guides and their angels. So that's the star card. The moon card is the next one. Now, this is a very interesting card. There's always going to be a full moon and some wolves and some some lobsters. And there's like in the card, you're going to see on one side the white pillar and the other side the black pillar, and there's going to be water and a bridge in between the two pillars, and a lot of water around it also. So the moon card is about staying true to yourself, crossing over away from old traditional beliefs and habits to being true to who you really are. When you are stuck, you are howling at the moon. So when we come into this world, we have family that has like traditional beliefs, maybe religious beliefs, or just certain beliefs on how traditions that are passed down from generation to generation. And some of those traditions or those beliefs may not necessarily be true. I'll give you a couple examples. My grandmother read tarot from a plain deck of tarot cards. I mean, I believe that she was a gypsy. She had to have gypsy blood running through her body. But she traveled around a lot, and she read tarot cards. She was a very interesting woman. And she got to where she would not do tarot readings anymore because she said that And she was also Catholic as well. I didn't know this until she had passed away, that she had a very good rapport with her Catholic priest. But every time she got to where she wouldn't read tarot cards, because every time it seemed like every time she would read tarot for somebody, 3 days later, some sort of tragedy or catastrophe would happen to her. The last time she read for my cousin. He kept asking her to read, and she kept telling him, no, no, something terrible will happen, blah, blah, blah. And somehow he convinced her to do it, and she did. 3 days later, we had Hurricane Hugo, and it destroyed our apartment. So it was that belief. I mean, she truly believed that something terrible was going to happen to her. She read those cards. So that would be very similar to Howling at the Moon. But what happened was I got very involved in Christianity and became one of those Bible thumping, people that was always preaching the word of Jesus. And then when I broke out of that, it was revealed to me that I was to read tarot cards. And I was scared. I didn't know what to do with that. It was revealed to me I learned a lot of things about what I was supposed to be doing. That was very scary and went against the grain of what I had always been taught or believed in the Christian church. So there was a while that I knew that I was supposed to read tarot, but I was so scared, and I would read it. I would read tarot. I was good, but I wasn't at my highest potential with it because of that fear, that belief, that thought. So that's what the moon is about. It's like you're howling at the moon because you know that there's truth on the other side. And so you're like stuck in the middle on that bridge or whatever, and trying to cross over the water to get over to the other side. But you've been so tainted by beliefs or things that you've grown up to believe and think that is true. Another example is if somebody is gay and they have been raised to believe that is wrong, and you're going to go to hell, and you can't live like that. And so this person stays in the closet for a really long time, and they're not true to themselves, and they're not living the life that they really to their highest potential. And so that, to me, that's another example. It's like they're not standing in their truth. They're not living in their own truth, knowing what is real and true to them. So that's what you see when you see the moon card. Now, in reading that card, and we're going to go over that. I'll wait and go over that, but that's what that card means, because there are two ways to read it, and we'll get to that. So the next one is going to be the Sun card, which is a beautiful card. I'm working with the Alice in Wonderland deck still. Most of you probably will have the Rider-Waite deck, but the Sun, it's yeah. I mean, think about it. The Moon card. You're finally coming into your own truth. You're stepping into your own boundaries. You've even got the Star card, where you've got your guides leading you and helping you find your way, your path. And the Sun is about this newfound energy that you have. You've let go of all the crap that you need to let go of. And it's like now you're finding a new path with brightness and clarity, and it's like the sun is shining down on you. A good example, like think about the sunflower, and I think in this picture you see a lot of sunflowers, but in the sunflower, they say that it wherever the sun is, whatever the direction the sun is at, that's where the sunflower will turn. So if the sun is in the west, the sunflower will be facing the west. And as the sun moves over, the sunflower just kind of moves with it, because it's like pulling in that energy of the sun. It feels good and it's warm, and it's just really feel good energy. And so that's what the sun is all about. It's like you're finding that path, and you've got clarity, and everything is like bright, and the energy, you feel like anything is possible. The possibilities in your life are endless, and you've got all the energy of the sun to help you through it. So I always like that card. The next card is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is about letting go of past wounds, regrets of the past. You're being lifted to a higher spiritual plane. So usually when I see this card, again, this is the Alice in Wonderland deck, so it looks a little differently. But you're always going to like see an angel with a trumpet or something up in the sky, and you may be seeing like some water with some, it looks like somebody's drowning because their hands are kind of sticking out of the water. I'm thinking of another tarot deck that I have. I'm not sure what the Rider-Waite looks like, but there's always going to be like cherubs or whatever blowing horns that are up in the sky. This card is about letting go of the past. We have a hard time forgiving ourselves for things that we've done in the past. There's guilt, shame, for maybe what we did to ourselves or to other people. And this card is calling you to let go, that it's okay to let all that go and to start a fresh slate. When you can forgive yourself of your past mistakes and shame, and really bring in that energy of self-love, self-forgiveness, self-respect, integrity, it changes your perspective, not only on yourself and how to live your life to the highest potential, but it also opens your eyes to understand that the people that have hurt you in the past or have wronged you in any way, that they're human too, and if you can forgive yourself, you can forgive them as well. Doesn't mean that you got to go, call them up and go have lunch with them or anything like that, but it's a transition of the heart, of not just forgiving yourself, but letting the bygones be bygones. I kind of going through something like that in my life right now in regards to somebody that's kind of in my life. And I have forgiven myself for a lot of things. And I also have to look at this person that has hurt me so many times throughout the years. I have to look at this person and understand that they're human, and I don't know what all happened to them. I know a little bit of what happened to them in their life before I met them, and I take that into consideration. But it's like letting the past, when you see the Judgment card, it's calling you to let the past be exactly that, the past. The past is dead, it's gone, there's nothing you can do to bring it back, and just live your life in the way with the new energy that you've got. Live your life and allow your thoughts, that energy that is surrounding you, to be at the present, where you're at, all the things that you've learned, where you've evolved, and letting go of the past, because again, it no longer exists. So that is the Judgment card. Again, we're going to learn how to read all this, but we'll also learn how to interpret them when they're reversed. So the World card, the last card of the major arcana, is you have answered the call and judgment has passed. You now have all the tools, like the magician, to move into the next chapter of your life. So when you see this card, I mean, you're seeing like all, like in the Rider-Waite, you'll see, you may see the wands in different, in the corners. I'd have to look. But there will be maybe the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and the wands, the pentacles, the swords, and the cups. You'll see one maybe in each corner, but it also has like animals, like an owl, a lion. You may see other images in the card, and that's all about strength and power. And when you see like this one, this actually goes back to the cards. So again, you know, these represent, of course, this is cups, this is wands, no, this is swords, this is wands, and this is, oh goodness, it's not cups, I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, let's go on. And I know y'all are probably thinking my mind is a little foggy this morning. But anyway, swords, clubs, wands, cups. Swords, wands, cups. I don't know. Anyway, I know my head's a little foggy, so I'm sorry. So let's go on with the world. So the World Cup, I mean, the World card is about a whole new beginning. It's like you've mastered, you've gone through everything that you needed to go through in the chapter that you were in. So now it's time to move on. You're entering the next chapter. Sometimes it could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with a job. I mean, you are literally moving on into a next chapter. So when you see the World card, it could involve moving, physically moving to another home, another state, another country. It depends on your reading. It can mean marriage. It could mean the ending of a marriage, just something new that you are now entering into a new chapter of your life. And you can see, like, she's got, just trying to look at this card and see what I can. It doesn't really have a lot in this picture to read from, but I do know that in the Rider-Waite, and there's another deck of cards that I have that I mean, there's so much in the picture you can see. But yes, she's like moving on. She's ready for the next chapter. So the World card is like the very last of the major arcanas. And as soon as I can, I'm so sorry. We have, I'm still going back to this. We have wands, cups, swords, clubs. So, wands, swords, cups, swords, cups, pentacles. Okay, I'm sorry. I knew I was missing. Diamonds are pentacles. Okay, so I wasn't going to let this go. All right, so pentacles, wands, cups, swords. That's what those are. And if you were reading from a plain deck of tarot. So sorry about that. Sorry my brain froze for a while. But I'm going to end this, and we're going to be looking at the next lesson is going to be looking at the numbers, the numbers, and looking not only at the numbers but the suit. So we'll be attaching the numbers to the suits, like Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. We'll see what all that means. And pretty soon we're getting closer and closer to where we can start doing spreads. So I hope this helps. Please excuse me for the brain fog. It happens. But I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.